Good evening, everyone. You know what this is. You are listening to Brown Sugar Confessions on the only Power 1017 FM. Thank you for joining us today. You are here with the terrific three myself, Miss T, Tracy, and our fearless leader. She is still out doing her thing, doing her hot girl ish, as we like to say. And we hope she is having a wonderful time traveling safely, doing all the things. So let's get into this. So, the weather here, y'all, let me tell you. So, it's finally not blazing outside. It's been a comfortable, like 80 degrees. Things have been good. I've been able to travel, went to Seattle, went to New York, went to, where else did I go? Pittsburgh this last week. So finally just settling down, need to get some cleaning done, but things are going pretty good here. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. Miss T, tell me, how's everything going on your side?
I mean, the weather's been pretty good so far. Around this time we start getting hurricanes, but we haven't had one in a little while, and I'm kind of nervous because the later they get, the bigger they are. So it's like, we should be
Mm,
getting at least a big storm at some point, but we'll see. And also, it's festival season here in Atlanta, so we got a lot of people going out. Traffic starting to kick up again, but I'm kind of chilling mostly because we got the health situations happening, COVID, monkeypox, this, that, or whatever. So if you're out, doing the festival circuit, please be safe. Keep your hand sanitizer on you. Wash. Stay comfortably away from people if you can. Outside of that, everything's good. But I do got a question. Do y'all remember the movie Death by Temptation?
no.
Okay, so it's Def, DEF, by Temptation, and it's a 90s black horror. I have never seen this movie in my life, but it's very interesting because it's about I don't even really know what it's about. I was watching it on silent, but there was like a succubus and she was in a bar and she was bringing people home, but she was doing like all this sensual stuff like we talk about on the show. She was rubbing people down with feathers. She was feeding them fruit.
Oh my.
She had her little
Fruit.
knife and she was dragging it on them, and they were getting the sensation and whatnot. This movie is wild. Like, it has all the like big black stars at the time, like Samuel L. Jackson was in it. That dude from A Different World is in it. A couple other people I can't think of their names at the time right now, but like they're in it. It's got like the 90s hairstyle. They're like, I don't know if they're zombies or demons. I don't know what's going on. The movie is wild. The movie is wild. So if you guys ever get a chance to watch it, the show is called Death by Temptation, DEF by Temptation. And if you do watch it, Radio Land, YouTube Land, hit us up and tell me what you think about it.
Indeed. Tracy, what's going on, girl?
I'm recovering still.
Recovering from what?
I had an amazing week. I got flued out to go see Rico
Ooh.
Nasty.
Oh.
And what I realized is I'm not a person that stays out after 9:30 anymore. And if I do stay out after 9:30, there better be food.
Facts.
Yeah.
If there is no food, you better warn me so I can bring snacks in my purse.
Pre-game before you get there.
Look, don't have me out and then there's no tacos. Don't have me out and then there's no French fries.
Not even chicken fingers or wings?
Nothing.
Dang.
Nothing.
Oh no.
The
Oh no,
gall.
that's
Look,
The
when I
audacity.
tell you I was hangry, like I was so mad and I couldn't even calm down. But once I got some food in me, it was like I was happy. I was like, yeah. Don't have me out like that. But in doing that, I was able to travel down to the city and then travel back. But what I want to also add is like, we all know what's going on, not only in the United States, but across the world with airlines and airports and traveling, right? Please be kind.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason to be abusive, poo-poo head, because your flight is late. You have to remember that we're not just dealing with mechanical errors. We're not just dealing with human errors. We're dealing with, as far as I'm concerned, we're still in a pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know what anybody else is saying.
We short staffed.
people are short staffed. People are working over hours with little to no pay. And you being abusive is not conducive to one, you getting to the place you need to go. Because I'm gonna tell you what, if you came to my counter talking the way that some of these people talk, I'd have sent you nowhere except for to the trash.
Dang.
Be kind. You know, it doesn't take much to be kind, but that's it. But before we get into it, I have two things to say. One, what's your favorite 90s movie, 90s horror movie, if we're talking about Deaf Temptations? And that's Def, DEF.
By temptation. If you
What's
get
your
the drift.
favorite? What's y'all's favorite? Give me two 90s horror movies. I want to know what they are.
I feel like they're gonna be the same ones. Because
think
we
so?
only know 2 horror movies from the 90s.
Leave me alone. Why are you being so loud? But we're going to get into my hot topic because we want to get this rolling. So, you know, last week we talked about the couple where the boyfriend and the girlfriend were together, and then the boyfriend found out he had cancer, and the girl, they had booked a trip together, but then he backed out. He didn't really even want to go, but he said it was because of cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked her to stay with him during this trying time. And she said, no, I really want to go. And she went, and when she came back, he was giving her the cold shoulder. And a lot of people sided with the boyfriend.
Yeah.
I think we all sided with the girlfriend, because you are asking wife level commitment
To a
girlfriend, and that is not fair to put that kind of commitment on nobody that you have not upped the intentional aspect of your relationship and you've maxed it out, right?
Facts.
So I'm going to come to you with the other side of this tale, because we talked about overgiving in a relationship and the expectations that societies and our partners put on us as women. So here's the other side to that. And I want y'all to listen to this, and then we're going to get into it.
All right.
So today there's a story about a boyfriend who dumped his girlfriend when she found out she had cancer. So they dated, probably they had known each other for 15 years, and they dated for about 6 years. And to say that, let me try to pronounce the name of this cancer, or we just gonna say gobbledygook. She found out that she had a type of breast cancer. I'm not even gonna try that. Sorry, y'all. I'm not even gonna try that. She found out she had a type of breast cancer. The boyfriend tells her over text that this is too much for him.
Over text?
Over text.
Oh,
text.
we fighting.
Text.
Yeah.
We fighting.
Found
as soon
out,
as I get out of chemo, we fighting.
Yeah, found out over text that the cancer, this is too much for him. He said he wished her well, and he could not be there for her because it's just too much for him. It's not what he signed up for.
Listen.
So he dumped her.
Listen.
He dumped her. Well, she's in remission. Listen, she's in remission. She's beat cancer, healthy, living her life. She ran into her ex-boyfriend, and now the boyfriend wants to try to pick stuff up again.
Of course he does.
Like, let's pick it up where we left off.
Absolutely not.
She asked the question, should she do this? Is this safe for her? And I want to hear what y'all have to say.
This man already showed his hand. Are you kidding me? I so hope she knows better than this. This is the time where you actually can relish in the fact that he gave you the opportunity to get away while the getting was good, because someone that would walk away under those type of circumstances is someone that is basically dangerous in your life, because they are only there for the good times. They're not there for any other time. You can't marry this person. I wouldn't have relations, of the adult kind with this person, because this is someone you can't trust. This is someone you should not be giving your body to. This is someone that I don't know. You wouldn't even get a hello from me at this point. So getting back is absolutely no. But I don't even think this person should get a high politeness. Nothing. No, absolutely not. It's his decision, obviously, to walk away under them circumstances. They weren't married, but that doesn't necessarily make you a nice person, and that doesn't make you someone that I want to spend time with. So, nope, nope, nope. All the no's that I can think of.
What do you say, Miss T?
Bro, that's rough. Like, initially, I want to say we fighting. We fighting as soon as chemo is over. We fighting. We scrapping. Especially if you're trying to come back. Like, nah. But I guess in terms for her, she has some kind of feeling for the dude. But just save yourself some drama. Just no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Especially if he wasn't even trying to like be no kind of support for you, not even like a decent friend or like, hey, wellness check. Do you need anything? Or are you okay? Da, 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 da. If he just dips, nah, absolutely not.
Yeah. So when I read this, I was initially sitting here thinking of, you internalize something and then you look. All I'm going to say is this dude was cruel, selfish, unsympathetic. The fact that he didn't even send "I hope you're well" text. He sent nothing. He completely just went silent. And upon seeing someone that has now healed, from their cancer and is now doing better, what I have to say is your battle with cancer is not over because you still have to deal with the medication going in remission. Do you think he is going to be there for that when you can't feel your feet?
Right.
That's
when
the
you're
other thing
having
too, is like, God forbid
light.
anything happens, but like what happens if it comes back? Is he going to dip again? Do you really want that in your life?
Yeah. And I'm at a point, I don't care how much time I've known you. If I've known you since I was a baby and you did some dirty mess like that, what does Keke Palmer say? Who is this man?
Who's this here?
Who is that? I don't know them. That is the same kind of energy you should put into that. And for them to even say, can we pick up where we left off? Remember where he left you off. Remember where he left you off. But again, this speaks to the societal pressure for women to constantly overgive of themselves to someone outside of themselves. So much so that they lose who they are and they forget who they are. And then the first time that we show that we need somebody there for us, they leave. I worked in a nursing home. Do you know how many husbands stuck around for their wives being sick?
Nope.
Can I tell you?
Zero.
Wow.
Zero. But the one who did stick around had a piece on the side.
Right.
So when you're talking about when a husband gets sick, how many wives stay around? Almost all.
Yep.
Almost all. Because they feel it's my duty. But men do not feel that return to duty for us. They feel like this is too much of a hassle. I didn't sign up for this. I'm going to get somebody that's healthier that can finish taking care of me because I still need, a mommy and a maid and a cook and whatever else they need.
I need somebody to take care of me while I'm taking care of someone else.
So to the women that listen to this, I really implore every one of us to dig deep and start taking care of ourselves. I know everybody says self-care, right? But what is self-care? Self-care is recognizing unhealthy habits and unhealthy relationships and unhealthy boundaries. It is knowing how to negotiate your own worth in every aspect of living. Of every aspect, knowing your worth to your child, knowing your worth to your partner, to your job, to yourself. If you're over giving, you are overextending, and you are in fact shortening your life. You trying to make all these grand plans, but you over giving, not knowing that you just knocked 5 years off. Stop it. I want better for us.
And overstressing, that'll definitely put you in a bad health situation
Yeah.
too. A lot of people don't realize stress will take life off of you.
Yeah.
Yes. Well,
Absolutely.
you know, it's really funny, but this week I don't know if everyone seen this article that's been kind of circulating around, but there's an article out that was written by a young man or a man, can't a young man, I think is fair enough, a psychologist, um, or actually is a psychiatrist. What's the difference? Can someone remind me?
Psychiatrists are able to give you medication. Psychologists are not.
Okay, so, and I'm not even sure because now that I think about it, he's a PSYD. So I think that's the kind I can give medication, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
Not very important, not super critical, but let's just know he's a psychiatrist or a psychologist, one of the two.
He one of them people that deal with the brain.
Yeah, he's one of them people. So he's been kind of seeing an uptick, especially within his patients, of men that are dealing with loneliness because, as he points out, a lot of women no longer feel obligated. They're stepping away from this idea of being obligated of sticking by men. So with that being the case, women are raising their relationship standards, their requirements, what they're looking for out of a healthy relationship, and men just aren't quite meeting up, according to him, to what people are looking or what women are looking for. And you have now this larger growing population of men that are in their 30s and above that are lonely, as well as just don't have that kind of relationship, romantic or any otherwise, in their life that's giving them things to move on, causing more problems. So it's really fascinating to me that we have these guys, as we mentioned earlier, that will, they'll disappear on women during these hard times, but have the expectation that the woman is going to stand by. And it's like, with the way the world is going, for them to not truly introspect and say, look, if I want to have a healthy, happy relationship, I need to be just as available emotionally to them as they are to me, or else I'm going to end up with no kids coming to see me, no wife coming to see me during these hard times, and being alone. So yeah, it's definitely obvious that things are changing, that there's definitely a lot of shift in relationships. And I personally believe that a lot of men really don't learn how to massage relationships. They get so caught up into the sexual side of relationships that they forget that it's also, because that's going to go away eventually, right? Like eventually the sex is going to slow down. I know. Eventually it slows down a little bit, and you
Unless you get
gotta
a
you
P
gotta
or
have
an O
other
shot.
foundations besides sex to build with. What do you think? You look like you got something to say on that one, Tracy.
So I kind of feel like this is what has happened. If you ask a man to name a woman that has inspired him, but you put the caveat, you can't be sleeping with them. They have a hard time naming a woman because they solely put a relationship with women, what you can simply offer them, which is the sexual, right?
Outside of mom and grandma.
Outside of mom and grandma, right? But then they go solely to men for emotional support, friendship, camaraderie. They don't look for that in women. They look for one thing, which is why I think they're having such a hard time. When I'm in a relationship with my partners, I look for friendship, I look for emotional support. I mean, of course, I look for the regular things, but I also look for the things that I look from a normal human being. And because men do this weird thing, what is it called? Friend zoning?
Friend zone. Yeah.
Like men think like, oh, she friend zoning me. No, dude, I just want to be your friend. Why do you assume that because I'm talking to you, my immediate thing that comes up is that I want to sleep with you?
Because
You're
that's what they're
ugly.
trained to believe.
Yeah, you're ugly. I'm sorry. You're not my type. but I do like the way we talk about Dragon Ball Z, and it's pretty cool. So like let's keep doing that. But I think men forget or have been trained not to think of women as friends. They are objects to be used. And that's changing, and I love it, and I'm here for it. So let's
Hey, yes, yes, yes.
let's rock it out. I'm here for it.
Listen, it's only in their best interest. It really is. It's time for a shift in mentality. Otherwise, the dynamics are only going to get stronger. It's going to get more obvious. We're not going backwards. The 50s are over. The 1800s are over. 1700s. All that stuff's gone. We're moving into a new chapter. We're moving into new directions. We're moving into new ways of being within society. And with that being the case, you have to adjust. And in the business world, a lot of times they use the term, agile. You have to be agile. And right now, a lot of these guys, I think they're at this like crossroads where they need to determine if they're going to adjust or if they're going to continue to fight tooth and nail to try to push things back into the Stone Age. And it's not gonna happen. And that reminds me of even what we're going through with the whole Roe v. Wade thing. People are trying to push things backwards, and it's only going to cost more. It's gonna like blow up even worse than the way things were by trying to pull everyone backwards, because it's not meant. That's not how the world works.
Yeah, it really isn't. And it's I like the word agile. But have you noticed that dudes who don't move their hips don't know how to be agile?
Well,
That
well,
get with nobody who can't dance.
Look,
at least a basic
it gets deep
two-step
over here. It gets deep over here sometimes. It's wild to think about it, that they don't even consider us friends. Or what did I see? One person said, if I'm dating a girl and my homeboys and strangers aren't hyping me up about the girl that I'm with, I'm nixing it.
Wow. Oh,
Isn't that
that's
weird?
extreme. That's weird, actually.
That's
I mean, who's dating her? You or your homeboys?
That's what I
that's
said.
social approval. That's social approval. Like if I can't get approval from my peers, then I don't need it. And that's what a lot of people, especially with guys, is they need approval from their peers. And like for women, it's a little bit different. We seek approval for our peers and our family and ourselves. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like for a lot of guys, and I could be wrong about this, but it's more like they are looking for approval from their peers or from their family, but not really for themselves, if that makes sense. But like we'll have to dig into this a little bit later, because it looks like it is about time for us to pay some bills.
Can we pay our bills?
Hey.
Can we pay our cell phone bills? Can we pay our more bills?
Hey.
It's
time to pay bills, y'all. We will be right back after this. Get a drink, go to the potty, stay with us, and we are coming back after these messages. welcome back, everybody, here to Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Thanks for hanging out with us on this lovely Wednesday evening. If you want to reach out to any of us, you got something you want to confess, you just want to chat, say how much you love the show, reach out to us on brownsugarconfessions@gmail.com. You can also reach out to us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Hey, we're even on Spotify at Brown Sugar Confessions. If you want to talk to Doc Val specifically on anything related to kink, sex, therapy, you don't know like what kind of lipstick you want to wear on your date, reach out to her at Valerie@swancenter.com. That is Valerie@swan with 2 N's.com. And let's get back into it. So we were talking about the psychology article that came out about men's loneliness. So I posted this article on my social media, and one of my male, I guess, compatriots, and I swear I only follow him because he's like the greatest troll ever, and just to see who he's aggravating. But he responded that it doesn't matter how much men are lonely, so long as they look good and they have money, they're always going to have women. How do you guys feel about that? Do you think that's true, especially with these men that are like older, like 50, 60, whatever, because they tend to always have someone who is young and strapping? But I know that's like a side candy type deal, but they always do have women around them.
Yeah, well, first off, again, the whole idea of, oh, as long as they look good. First off, how long are you going to look good? Like that will eventually go away. If you have money, I suppose you could always pay for people's attention. But that doesn't necessarily mean you will have a solid relationship. You might have someone nearby, but the second that you can no longer take your money and provide it to them because maybe you're less mobilized or you're in a different kind of circumstance, they're going to be gone. Mm-hmm. So that there could be some truth, like a very minimal amount of truth, that if you're a very handsome man that has money, that you can always have women. But again, I think that's the reason why we're having this situation right now, that there are so many men that are finding themselves later in life alone, is because they conflate the idea of being able to get sex from women with having healthy, lasting relationships. Just because someone's doing that with you doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be there to be a shoulder to cry on. Your guy friends, as you mentioned, that they tend to gravitate to those things. They're not going to be there when you're 65 years old dealing with testicular cancer, hugging you, telling you it's going to be okay, checking to make sure your appointments are, scheduled, and taking you to the hospital. They're not going to do those things. Typically, those roles are played by women, be it a family member or your girlfriend or your wife. So if you don't have those type of relationships established, a lot of times men don't even take care of their health. Let's look at one of their patron saints. He left this place with a woman, but he probably was not she certainly wasn't scheduling his health appointments for him. She wasn't making sure he was taking his blood pressure medicine. So yes,
true, because like in the later years, heart failure is a big one.
Yeah.
Testicular cancer, prostate cancer is a big one.
Absolutely a big one. And unfortunately, a lot of guys, they really don't take their health seriously. So they don't, studies have been done on it. They don't go to regular doctor's appointments if they're not married or have a woman that's kind of helping them with them things. A lot of times they're not, eating correctly all the time. They're not, doing the basics. And if it's unfortunate because honestly, you're an adult, right? You shouldn't even have to have some woman that's basically being your nurse to assist you with these things.
Oh, I think she thought about something. We need to make a clarification too, because this typically happens in cis men. This doesn't really happen in homosexual men. Gay men typically have everything together, and they are very together in their relationship. They look out for each other.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah. But moving on to a little lighter note. So I got a question for you guys. Because well, let me start out with some context. So we actually had a email that somebody wanted to ask a question. They wanted to ask it anonymously, but they wanted to know what is the difference between a fetish and a kink.
Ooh, good question.
So let me present that to the table before I get into the article that I found that establishes the differences. So what do you guys think is the difference between a fetish and a kink?
Hmm. Well, to me, I feel like a kink is a verb. It's an action, right? And to
Mhm.
me, a fetish is more of a uh I don't know the proper word for it, but it's definitely more of a concept, more of a mental thing, more so than an actionable thing. You might have a fetish for something, um, but you may not necessarily even act on such fetish. Whereas to me, a kink is like it's an action. It's a thing you like to do. It's a thing that requires steps and training and utilities and things like that. Whereas, you could have a fetish for, you can have, to me, a fetish that's non-sexual at all. Like
Mhm.
it's just like, hey, I have a fetish for people with long hair. I just
Mhm.
like seeing long hair or something like that. I don't know. But to me, I can't find the word I'm looking for. But fetish is more it's more passive, and kink is an actual action.
Okay.
That's the best I could come up with.
All right. Sounds good. Tracy, difference between a
Um,
kink and a fetish.
so as a brat, I'm gonna say kink turns into a fetish when it becomes the primary source of sexual pleasure.
Okay.
Like it's the main thing that drives it.
Okay.
So whether it is feet or hair or the back of the thigh, I don't know.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. This is the one time. This is like actually, I'm not gonna lie. This is the one of many times that I wish Doc Val would stay in one place so that she could provide her knowledge on this since she's licensed for it. But so here is what I found, and this is according to the Huffington Post. So here's the phrase that they use, and this is how once I tell you what this phrase is, and then we're going to go into it. Okay, so think of it like this: all fetishes are kinks, but not all kinks are fetishes. Okay, so keep that in mind.
Mm,
All fetishes
okay.
are kinks, but not all kinks are fetishes. So the way they describe it is a fetish is a sexual fixation on a specific object or act that is absolutely necessary for a person's sexual gratification.
Hmm.
Okay. So the fixation could be on a body part like hands, like, people got foot fetishes. So hands, feet, whatever. So if that fixation is on a body part, it's known as partialism. Okay.
Oh.
So with partialism, one part of the whole body is isolated and sexually charged or objectified. So you could have a foot fetish that is partialism, or you could have a leather fetish that is a fetish. Does that make sense? But if the leather is on a waist and that's what gets you off, that is partialism. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting there. We're getting
Okay.
there. Hmm.
All right. So a kink is a broader term that encompasses a bunch of alternative sexual interests, preferences, or fantasies that go beyond the run-of-the-mill missionary sex. So BDSM, role playing, impact play, furries, those things are kinks. But that also, as you said, KD, these are also actions. Okay. So a fetish is heavily tied to having a psychological need for those objects or acts in order to experience pleasure or an orgasm. Whereas kinks can add to the sexual experience, but aren't necessarily needed to achieve
Hmm.
a sexual release. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I,
So
I
once
like I like I
again,
like that clear definition.
yeah. So all fetishes are kinks, but not all kinks are fetishes. And I thought about that and I was like, yo, That's mind blowing. So, because a lot of times I'm always asking, is this a kink? I'm gonna put
Is
that on
this
a
a
shirt
kink?
one day. Is this a
Is
kink?
that a kink?
Be like, is this a kink or is this a fetish? Because when you think about it too, and then that can go also with and I hate to say it, like when people date a certain person or a certain type of person, that is a fetish.
Mm-hmm.
That is a fetish. Now, if that person happens to be strapped up in leather and you guys want to play cop or dom and sub, then that is definitely a kink. So Radio Land, YouTube Land, did you guys know the difference between a kink and a fetish? Let us know, because that's something that I learned and I was like, oh, now this makes everything a little more clear. So with that being said, got another question for you guys.
Shoot. Interested.
Have you ever been with anybody who has had a particular fetish? And if so, what? If you can say it on air.
Melons.
Okay, yeah. That's definitely out there. There are definitely some people who like TNA. I had a dude that definitely was had a booty fetish.
Yeah, I think I have the closest thing to a fetish for me that someone I've been with would have been a peach fetish. So, and obviously for those who don't know, I have a slightly round peach. So,
The bestest.
She got a wagon, y'all. She got a wagon.
So if someone were to have a fetish for peaches, then I'm probably your girl, one of them. I don't have, I feel like it's so funny to me because when I was younger, I had what I always thought was a pretty big and obvious one, but it's like all of a sudden now, everywhere you go, there's peaches and they're round and they're keeping tables and all sorts of things. So I don't feel very special anymore.
Aww.
But if someone has that kind of fetish, I would probably fit in quite comfortably into their desires. So I do tend to attract people who at least have an interest in that, if not a fetish.
Tracy, how about you? Have anybody had a fetish around you, or do you have a fetish?
Do I have a fetish? You know what? Maybe I do.
What's your fetish? Or what do you think your fetish is?
Mushroom caps.
Okay. I can see that.
Think about where the mushroom cap is.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm picking it up now. Go ahead.
Okay. I like a very, when I see one and it's beautiful, I could just stare at it all day. Really, I could. It becomes almost, it does become a fixation for me. Like, I want to touch it. I want to play with it. I become like a weirdo and I want to put it in my mouth and hang out with it.
You want to take it out on dates.
Yeah. I want to buy it
long walks on the park.
I want to buy it like pretty jewelry and special kinds of lotions and stuff. I realized that is what I've dealt with people with me that have fetishes. Some people, I have really long fingers. And they loved when I would grow my nails out really long, and they loved my hands. They would just be like, get your nails, and they would pay for me to get my nails done and take pictures, hold this, do this, do that, go put your hands in dirt, and they loved it, and I loved it because I got $300.
I know that's right.
Hey, I mean, I need someone with that kind of fetish. Just like, I want to get your nails done because I want your hands to be longer.
Yeah, and I would have to get my nails done twice a week. So for a couple of days, they would be one way, and then another day they'd be like, "Oh, I really want to see this," and then they would pay for me to go get something else done, and they would pay. I mean, the person that I went to, it cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get my nails done, and I was getting them done sometimes twice a week, and my toes. They loved it, and they would send me special oil for my body and stuff like that.
They're like, put this on, let me see.
I think they also had a fetish for my body because they wanted me in very specific colors, very specific styles of things. And I was cool with it because I didn't have to dress myself. Like, yeah.
Hey, yes.
There you go.
Win-win. Win-win. What about you, Miss T?
I think my fetish, if it can even be called a fetish, is a beard fetish. I like dudes with beards. Like I was thinking, like as we were talking, I was doing like a Rolodex of all the dudes that I've been with, and like I want to say almost all of them have had a beard of some sort.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like either like, you know, kind of like not like a soul patch, but kind of like here, or it's been like all the way down. And I'm like, and then like when I see dudes who have like magnificent, like well groomed beards, and I'm like, bruh, your beard is amazing. Can I touch it? Like,
But
what's going on? Like, how are you doing this? Like, what is your routine? Like, tell me what's going on. And then like that
But
whole
you know what I
thing-
hate?
What's that? What's that?
I hate when they shave their beard and they lied to me
Yeah.
and their whole jawline is weak.
Yeah.
it.
Or like if you got the super patchy beard, like you ain't even try to like even it out. Like it's just like cotton puffs. Like you got here, you got one there on the side. You might have like a little scraggly thing kind of like in between that's like barely holding the beard together. Like, bro, either just shave it off or fade it. I don't know, but you got to get it together.
Yeah. I saw one dude I dated. He had a very cute face, like a baby face. And then he put that beard on. I was like, that's it. That's what I'm looking for. Give me that energy. And then he shaved his beard like 3 months later. And I was like, I can't do it with you, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, put my wig on your chin, like tape it on or something. I don't know. But it's not fucking working.
He beard fished you. You got beard fished.
Yeah, you got beard fish, love.
Look, it's worse than food fishing. I hate when I get food fish, but beard fishing.
Wait,
No.
food
Absolutely.
fishing?
Yeah, I don't know what food fishing is.
Is this what
You've
I'm
never-
thinking it is, where it's like everything looks good until you actually get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awful.
That's the worst.
That's a travesty.
Yeah.
Look, I went to this one place. Everybody's like, oh, go here, get this Jamaican food. It's gonna be bomb. And I was like, and I went in and the server was rude. So I knew that was gonna be good.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all got rice and peas. And she's no, we don't have that. And I'm
We
like,
don't
okay,
have that here.
yeah. So let me get something else. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, this is gonna be fire. Like I'm already dancing in my seat, rubbing my hands on my thighs, like I'm ready. I eat it. Y'all, tastes like garbage. The worst kind of garbage.
That's the worst.
I was so mad. I left my plate there. I took 2 more bites because I was like, maybe that's just a bad little triangle over there. Maybe that's like the Bermuda Triangle, and that's not where the flavor is. I took a bite from the other corner of the plate. Horrible. I got up and left my plate immediately. I was so mad. I had to go to Wendy's, y'all.
Oh no.
I had to go to Wendy's.
And then you had to use Wendy's to cover it up. No.
Oh, that's the worst. Oh man.
Hey.
Look, hurt my heart. Don't get food fished out here, ladies. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's the worst. Food fishing. Dang. We got one more thing to talk about. But before we do, I need to make sure time check wise we're okay, right?
We are good. We still have some time here. So we got time for one more.
Okay.
Just one more.
We got to answer this question that Tracy posted in the beginning when I was talking about this movie. What are the 2 90s black horror movies?
Yes.
Oh,
I
yes,
already know what it's going to be. I'm just going to throw it out there. Tales from the Hood and what's the one with Eddie Murphy?
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yes, that.
Yes.
If we're not counting Blade, because Blade was late 90s.
I also don't think of Blade as a horror movie. It's not horror.
This
That's
is
more
true.
like
That's
like vampire action or something. I don't know, but definitely wasn't nothing scary about it. Yeah. But no, there's one more. One very important. The one, and that's Candyman.
Don't say the
Candyman.
Quit saying his name.
What
I
you
only
mean?
said it once. It's okay. I only said it once. That was the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah. You cannot talk about
the original
80s,
He Who Must Not Be
90s.
Named.
Yes, the original He Who Must Not Be Named. Yeah, no, that's definitely probably my favorite from back in the day. But I also found a lot of humor in Vampire in Brooklyn. Like you can't go
I
wrong
love
with it.
Vampire in Brooklyn. I
No,
love
you can't.
that movie. Like
First of
it
all,
was like had this funny parts, but then at some point you're like, oh, what's going on? And you're like, oh, okay. I dig this.
yeah, I think that was my first, maybe first time recognizing Angela Bassett,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
because that was before waiting to exhale.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mhm.
I remember seeing her and being like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
Oh yeah. Oh
That
yeah.
was it. That was it. But I loved it. But yeah, Tales from the Hood. That's my joint. Me and my sister, we still quote that movie
Bruh.
today.
That
And if
movie
you-
should not have been as memorable as it was, because that movie was horrible. But we all remember that movie.
Oh yeah, no, it was horrible, but it was great at the same time.
Yes.
It was, because you could, I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. It was the first time I actually saw a movie with like a horror
Us.
movie with us in it, and we weren't the first to like
To
really
die.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
in a goofy way. You know what I'm saying? Like in Tales from the Hood, we went out in some pretty gangster ways.
Mhm.
But in the other movies, in the horror movies, they had Black people dying like in the toilet.
With the terrible stereotypes too.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
Each and every
yeah,
time.
Mhm.
Tales from the Hood, you're a real one.
Bruh.
You're a real one.
That show was wild. Like you were like, like y'all really wrote this. Y'all let somebody greenlit this.
Did y'all see there's a 2?
Yeah, I watched that foolishness. That was worse than the first one.
I have not seen that one.
That was
Do
way
not
worse.
see it.
Don't see it. Don't see it. It was way worse than the first one.
Oh no, that's terrible.
And look, when we say way, we mean WAAAAA.
Yeah.
AAA.
Yeah.
A.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
wow.
Bad.
Worse. Yeah.
Bad. Like
I saw
worse
with-
than Sharknado bad.
Wait, is it worse than what?
Sharknado.
You've never seen Sharknado?
No. Sharknado? What is a Sharknado? I mean, it's kind of obvious, but what?
Yes. You have never
Look,
seen
now we
like
need
the
to-
greatest sci-fi environmental trash fire?
Okay.
No, they
wait.
Sharknado.
Okay, so now we need a poll. Should we do a Brown Sugar Confessions watch party with Sharknado? Who's
Ooh.
in?
Oh my goodness.
I feel like if we're gonna do that, we need like a watch party for Death by Temptation.
Okay, so we're just gonna have to do a whole. We're gonna have to invite folks to just do some movie nights with us.
Either that or
'cause-
like we have to do like a react reel or something and post it on YouTube.
Yes, that would be too much fun. Oh, let's do movie night. 21 questions.
Oh,
Ooh.
That would be
Oh,
too
yeah.
much fun. That would be too much fun. We might get thrown off the air though.
yeah, yeah. That would strictly be for YouTube. We'd strictly be for YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that would be too much fun.
Or we have to like that would be a nightmare to edit for you, whoever's doing the editing to put that on the frame.
Oh my god.
Well, listen, guys, we are at the end. It's almost now.
Oh,
It's time
man.
to say goodbye.
Oh, won't.
So, yeah, thank you everyone for joining us tonight. We had a blast. And don't forget to follow us on all of our social media channels. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. You can't see us if you do not follow us on YouTube. So make sure you join the entire party. Find us on YouTube. Find us on Facebook. Find us on everything using what you see behind me, Brown Sugar Confessions. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will hopefully see Dr. Val, I think, the next time we have our show. So have a wonderful week. Don't forget to stay safe, play safe, and we'll see you guys next time. Good night.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Brown Sugar Confessions on Power 1017. Go to our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram page at Brown Sugar Confessions to like, share, and follow. Stay safe and play safe. We'll see you next week. Bye for now.